if he gets that because he's elderly. But anything short of being elderly or already sickly, and again, it would apply to any flu. It's just ridiculous. It makes no sense.
It does make some sense, though. However, because the regular flu, you can get a vaccine for. You get a vaccine for that.
Okay, which some people, not everybody agrees that it works.
Well, that may be true, but that is a difference. That is a difference. There's a vaccine for that. There's not one for this. You can't protect yourself in any kind of way from this.
Okay, I will say the difference is so slight, and the difference is not worthy of what is going on in this world.
I think it is because we have a disease that's spreading that has no cure, that has no vaccine, and we just need to slow it down. We got to tap it down. This is why we had a pandemic office in the White House, that to tackle things like this. This is why you didn't hear Ebola becoming like this, because we tapped that shit out. We took care of business, whatever we need to do before it was an issue. In this country, this time around, we didn't do everything we need to do, and it's spreading a little faster than we want. And the World Health Organization, they don't use the word pandemic. They don't just throw it out there. They haven't done it since 2009. So that's why this is special.
And for me, it's just a little bit different because they don't know everything about it. It's just the unknown variables that are concerning me. The fact that they're not exactly sure how it's spreading.
But they do know that. These are not knowns. You can find this information out online. The World Health Organization has released this information.
So they say that it's by touch, it's by breath. It's
the same way you catch any flu. Don't touch your hands. Always don't touch your face. You can catch it from a cough. You can catch it from drinking off somebody's cups that it has it touching your eyes. Yeah.
Mouth. Just all the basic things. But I was under the impression that there are still things about this virus that they were finding out that they weren't sure of.
They don't know how to cure it, and there's no vaccine for it.
So I think that the unknowns are what's...
But I'm telling you, there are less unknowns than you think. Yeah. The World Health Organization, actually, I posted a poster at my job, which my boss made me take down because the corporate entity said, they had to approve all communications between employees about the virus. But I was trying to give them straight up information from the World Health Organization. It's all out there. I've done my studies. That's why I feel like I'm actually being reasonable about this. I'm not a fearmonger. I'm not scared necessarily of the flu because I know I have a greater chance of recovering from something like this. However, I am still at a high risk. I do have a compromised immune system that's being taken care of because of medicine. But I also could give it to somebody else that could eventually, it could be really bad for.
Mm-hmm. And I know that the coronavirus attacks your lungs, and I have asthma. So that's the only reason why it would bother me, even though I would probably recover from it when healthy, but it would be totally uncomfortable. But I was just under the impression until now that there were so many unknowns that they didn't know about the virus, and that's why everybody was just...
No, there's a lot of information out there. Coronavirus itself is not new. Right. This strain is new.
Right, yes.
I tell you what, though, if everything keeps going like this, the next step is, which, it seems far-fetched or whatever, but if we actually go to the point where there's, quarantine, then the whole, I think next people going to be, because everybody was not able to hoard. Not everybody, so when they run out of stuff, there's going to be looting, and people coming for other people's property, or breaking ins or home invasions or whatever. That's the part I'm afraid of more than anything else.
Right.
Or, maybe not afraid, but concerned. That's the part I'm concerned about, that it might get to that. And I think it's a real possibility. Like a couple weeks ago, I just, that's zombie apocalypse, whatever. But that's what it's heading towards. It's heading towards people actually doing that kind of thing.
If we were under martial law and there was a government quarantine that was something like that, it would be no more than 14 days, which is good, that it wouldn't be that long. But it would be very serious for a lot of people. You're right. And there would be, I'm with you, there would be looting. There would be people to try to steal your property, try to get your stuff. Mm-hmm. I think I could make 14 days. The boredom would kill me.
I wouldn't be bored.
No, I wouldn't be bored at all.
I wouldn't be bored.
I would. 14 days is no problem because, like I said, we shop for 14 days at a time anyway. Mm-hmm. And then you can also, you have that stuff that you kind of have deep in your freezer or on your shelf that you don't really, that just sits there, and you know, you could push come to shove, you could always eat that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So 14 days, we could pretty much do standing on our head, provided we are able to find the few things. Because like I said, we went to 3 stores and still weren't able to find our usual supply of 14 days. We're a little bit short, but it's provided we, you know, we're able to do that wouldn't be a problem. But anything longer than that will start to become a little bit of an issue. We'd have to like go out and, you know, figure out how to, you know, hopefully we'd have time to stock up on, you know, a little bit more stuff. But yeah, as long as it's 14 days or under, that would be fine.
I wasn't here. I was out sick the day that the question of the week had been, what is something you can give up for 6 weeks? And I could not give up sex for 6 weeks. And if I don't. No. Not, unnecessary.
I do it, but not by choice.
What's unnecessary?
To give up sex for 6 weeks. It's just, I don't want to, no. So.
Wow.
I have.
I wish.
That's how I know
Jesus,
I don't want to do it. So that 2 weeks? Oh, hell no. I can get my dick sucked for 2 weeks? And then none of my roommates doing it? No.
I'll tell you one thing, too. I kind of wish we find out pretty quickly about this whole, you know, quarantine thing, because at work, it's hard for me to get my regular work done because management keeps coming down, you know, they keep passing stuff down the chain with, like, you know, different new procedures and checklists, and like you said, you guys had the test week, whatever. They're gearing up. I had to pick a couple of employees that's gonna stay home in the next week or so to test out, you know, our thing. And the problem is, for me, they only want to allow like only so many people per unit. So they want you to, you know, obviously you want to pick the person who's most. But my employees, their duties are so specialized and so different from each other. There's no one person, including me, that could, you know, test everything. You know what I mean? So I don't really know how that's going to work, since they're not going to let us send, you know, enough people home to test everything to begin with. I don't know. But in any case, it's hard to even get any work done because I'm constantly getting new emails and new directives and new order, you know, okay, take this kind of poll and find out this, and how many people have kids that are out of school that's going to affect their work schedule, and how many, you know, emergency contact update info, and just it's just so much, just constant all day. And it's like, you know, one of the other managers was like, he's like, man, I can't even, I'm like, man, yeah, I think we're all in that same boat. It's hard to get any work done right now.
Well, my company actually chose our office, the LA downtown office, specifically to do this drill, because actually all of our company's service lines are situated there. Everything that our company does, there's somebody from that department in our office. And it also includes things like me, ops, and, you know, marketing and all this stuff. So how would this work from home? And that's why they actually chose us. And I am actually the person in the office, along with my boss and my other team member, that's responsible for protecting the people from COVID-19. Wow. That's why I know all this information about it. It literally is my job right now, because just like the people that sued Princess Cruise Lines, if somebody in my office caught this virus, they could very easily sue me and say, you exposed me to this virus. And you exposed my kids to this virus, or you exposed my elderly parent to this virus, and and I could be liable.
Right.
So I've had to do everything in my abilities to make sure that doesn't happen. And I was kind of on it beforehand. I got all the disinfectant wipes. I got all the Purells. I got all the bleach. I got all the wipes that you can wipe down your desk. I was prepared.
What are you going to do for the next 2 weeks that Don's not in school?
Did
they keep her out of school too?
Yeah.
What are you guys going to... And then does she have spring break after that?
Wifey stays home, so she'll be okay.
Yeah. Are you guys prepared to have her home? Like, how's that affecting you?
It's not affecting me. Like he said, my wife stays at home, so, you know, she'll be at home with her mom. And
then does she have spring break after, or does she go back to school and then she gets...
I don't know if she goes straight to spring break, or, you know, if they go back for a week and then their spring break, but spring break does normally come around the time that they're supposed to go back. So, or, you know, around about 2 weeks from now is when spring break usually starts. So, I don't know.
Yeah. So, hold on. So, Matt Crabtree said something about his friend in Hoboken having a mandatory 10 to 5 at home. Is your friend on house arrest?
No, he said NJ.
Jersey.
Right, New Jersey. That's funny. Matt laughed. He laughed too. All right, y'all ready to move on from this coronavirus shit?
Yeah,
about something else?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's move on to something else. Let's forget about it for 90 minutes.
News and noteworthy.
Well, I tell you one thing that is not coronavirus related that I'm very happy about, and I know Pip will be too, if he doesn't already know.
What is that?
That is our man, LaTone Hart, and the 7:30 show is back, baby.
Hey.
Oh, right.
Yes, back.
LaTone Hart. Great voice, great show.
For those of you who
Best
don't know,
podcast out there.
One of the best podcasts ever. My buddy and co-host of the Pot of Thrones podcast, LaTone Hart, he has come back with his 7:30 show. So he's doing it once a week right now. He's got like 2 episodes up. Go and check them out.
That's what's up.
They're about 30 minutes. They are hilarious.
They're so well produced.
Yes, he's very entertaining. And not only that, he also has his own his own online radio station that plays today and yesterday's R&B hits.
Awesome.
So it's really good if you want to hear a nice mix of old school. It's like it just, it goes like Motown all the way up to today. It's a nice mix, but it's mostly that sweet spot for people our age, Pip.
Mm-hmm.
But but you get a little bit of old school and a little bit of new school, and it's just like a nice R&B mix. And also he got some original. The other day I was listening to it, and I heard this really nice Ella May mix with the Isley Brothers.
Ooh.
And it was his own mix. I was like, man, that was dope. That was good stuff. But
he DJ'd that? Like he mixed it himself?
Yes, he mixed it himself.
That's awesome.
So it's called Raven 92.9. Okay, that is and you can find it on Raven929.com. Raven929.com.
Awesome.
And
congratulations, big up LaTone.
Take him out. And again, his show is called the 7:30 Show, and that's spelled with a 7, the numeral 7 and 30.
The word 30.
7:30 Show. There you go. 7, the numeral, and 30, the word show. And go and listen to him. Check out his show. You will not be sorry. All right. So now we got something fun. At least I hope will be fun.
I hope so too.
Right?
Because writing on audio is always fun.
Well, it's not anyway. See, this is why I asked you before, Pip, if you were okay with this.
You asked me 2 minutes before we're going to start, and I was like, "Go ahead,
let's go." Before we started, but okay, you know what? Anything I bring to the show.
No, it was. What was I going to say? I was trying to yes and you. I'm down. Let's do this. I just don't think that writing is fun on the radio.
All right,
it's homework.
So, see, that's exactly why I asked your ass before we did all this. Because I didn't want to hear a repeat of the last game or whatever I brought to the show. You know what? Let's skip it. All right.
Oh,
let's go on.
I said I was going to do it.
Let's go. Yeah, but you're going to, you got take
you
shots the whole time.
You asked me 5 minutes before we started. And I was trying to listen, and you explained the whole thing, and I'm like, let's hear him out, which I did.
Right. And
then I said yes,
about it. And then we get on air.
Because it was time to start the show. It was time to start the show.
Well, then let's start the show then, and let's move on.
So I didn't say anything because there was no time. I thought this was something we should have talked about before 5 minutes before. There was no time for me to say my objections, so I said, let's roll with it. So if you want to get mad at me, go ahead, but take responsibility for what you're part of it, too.
So Mayweather's baby mama is in the news because she was found dead.
What?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
She was found dead. We don't know anything. Very little. It's basically the story is
like she was in her car.
They found Mayweather's baby mama dead. They don't know, they're not saying anything at this point. If they think it's foul play, if they think it's natural causes, they're not saying anything. Just like later, we'll let you guys know later.
Oh wow. That's
but we got a little clip. Let's see. Should have had. Thought I had this queued up, but